Good morning, and I'm Bob, and that's Pam, and we've been coming down here from Sydney for 53 years, starting in 1959, and this is our holiday spot. We come here and stay here for up to 2 months at a time. That's pretty good going, because every time we come here it seems to get better, and we enjoy our fishing, we enjoy our relaxation, and we enjoy talking with people. And I love the beach. Love the beach. We've got Mill Beach down there where we've swum for years. And when our kids were tiny tots, and they still come down here as well. So the grounds are good, and they seem to be getting better all the time. So in saying that, Pam and myself love the place.
This is 78-year-old Bob Coleman, out doing what he loves doing most. He's checking his lobster pots in amongst the rocks out from the beach at Murramarang Resort. He makes these pots, then he goes out and catches the fish to bait them, and he plants them in these secret holes along the coast, and then he's got to go out at low tide and check them. So here he is, out doing what he loves most, and at 78, taking a little risk or two that he won't slip and fall and hurt himself.
So I make these lobster pots as a hobby, and but in '65 I bought my first boat, and I met a fellow by the name of John Robinson, who was a miner of Wollongong, who too came down here for his holiday. On talking with him, he said, "You're interested in all these lobsters and all that sort of thing. I will teach you how to make a lobster pot." So he did. You have to put gutter guard in the pot to stop the green eels from removing the bait, instead of being able to draw the lobster in, because he doesn't want to come in if the baits are gone. So we'll just take that out. That had about 6 flathead fillets in it a couple of days ago, and I don't think there's been a lobster in there, of course, but the eels have managed to conjure a way in and get the bait out. So the catch of today, which was 9 very nice flathead, we've taken the fillets off, and we're going to have those later on today. So these are the skeleton part, the head. So what we do now is we just put that in there like so, and maybe we'll put another one in just for fun. Yeah, so it's a little time consuming, this business, but if at the end of the day we can come up with a nice lobster, and they're around about $45, $50 a kilo or something, so I don't mind putting the effort in. So it's like a dog chasing its tail. I've got to go out in the boat, out into Beagle Bay, and fish in 30 metres of water on sand, using little bits of flathead for bait, and fishing on the bottom. And I only stay out for an hour and a half, usually 7:30 till 9 o'clock the most, because I am compelled to call on the radio to my darling wife Pamela, who waits patiently for my call in the caravan. And when I think I'm done, I give her a call. She walks down the ramp, helps me clean the fish, and if I get a lobster, I've got to share it. So as I said, it's a little bit fiddly when you do these things, but we've been doing this for 53 years, coming down here and in the mid-50s, I guess. And how did we find this place? It was our parents who met some other friends in that age group of the year, who were miners from Wollongong, and this became a miners' holiday establishment after the old mill closed. So just before World War II they closed the mill, and that's when it became a holiday park, if you like. Very primitive, no toilets, no showers, no water, bring your own. So we did in those days, and it was pretty good. So as I said, we've been coming here for 53 years, and we've seen very primitive times, and now that the resort has gone, as the word implies, resort, you pay a little more, you meet a lot of other people, nothing else changes. So we sort of hang small fish whole in the pot on wires. They also attract the lobster if he's around. And put a bit of weight in the lobster pot. I use lead weights. Hold the pot down in the crevice. And what you see here is a lobster pot made by yours truly. And I use cane, a 1/4 inch or 5mm cane in 2.8 metre lengths, softened of course in water, makes it very flexible, and the ribs of the pot are set up in a jig, and they sit in pairs, and there's 11 pair, so we've got 22 ribs on this jig of about 9 inches or so in diameter. So we're talking the old scale, we're talking inches and so on. So there's the ribs are 22 inches long, and the cane is 1/4 inch in diameter, 8 foot long pieces, softened, and then weaved into the neck as a neck of the pot in the jig. So you got that. So when you've done with that, you then get this great big coil of wire around about, I don't know, 60 or 70 feet long, and you start weaving it. Very painstaking, and you weave it and you weave it, and it takes me about 3 hours to make a lobster pot, so therefore I couldn't sell one on $150, could I? And that's the finished product with a little bit of weight in the bottom. So there's your lobster pot.
What size lobsters do you catch in?
Oh, only legal, but we do get kittens, and if you do the job right you get a kitten which is only about so big, and if there's nobody looking I leave it in the pot as a caller. We don't take them, we leave it in. If it's there for a couple of days, I'll let it go. But as a caller, he might bring in a nice big traveller, and then the old scale could be 10, 12 inches long, and they changed the measurement. Now it's got to be 105, 110 millimetres from the feelers to the back, and then the lobster back. But yeah, nice lobster, and if you get one, you do it humanely, you put it in fresh water and sort of stun it. You then, after that, you've also got your pot of salt water cooking and boiling. You then remove the lobster from the fresh water, put it in the salt water for 7 minutes. And then you take it out after 7 minutes, he's nice and red, let it cool down, split it. I get the big half, she gets the little half, lobster salad. Lobsters, I think, are a little bit to do with maybe climate change, according to Bob. Don't get as many lobsters as I once could. So in days gone by, I'd get any amount, as I said, 100, 4 weeks, not a problem. Now we're in the 2000s, 2010, 2012. We were down here for 3 weeks. We love this place. 3 weeks in October. Got 2 beautiful big lobsters. I was using 2 pots. One for me, one for my darling wife Pamela, which I'm allowed to do. And we're able to get 2 lobsters per person per day if they're there. And there's limits on that, of course, and the size as well. But we only take good ones. Yes, we've caught big ones, we've caught little ones. Let the little ones go. Let them reproduce, let them get bigger. So, yeah, I make my own lobster pots, and I enjoy the activity of going around the rocks, keeping fit, as an older person might want to do, and also enjoying the whole of the environment of Murramarang National Park.